the deep cold of space, far from any sun, a small explorer ship moved slowly through darkness. Its name was the Seeker, and its mission was to search the ruins of dead civilizations. On board, Commander Rilatorin, a tall reptilian officer with sharp eyes, stared at the screen in front of her. The map showed they were close. There, she said, Exeron ruins, dead for 2,000 years. The crew grew quiet. No one had ever entered this site before. The Exeron Empire once ruled dozens of star systems, until they vanished without a trace. 6 crew members. One mystery: that ship slowly approached the broken station. It floated like a ghost, cold, cracked, and forgotten. Strange symbols glowed faintly on its surface. Rila turned to her crew. "This is why we're here. Let's find out what they left behind." Inside the ruins they entered through a docking gate. No alarms, no defenses. The station was dead inside. The halls were silent. Dust floated in the air. Strange machines lined the walls, long shut down. At the center of the structure, they found a glowing room full of crystal shape-salient memory logs. "Archives," said Dr. Yell, a creature made of shimmering crystal. "Data storage, very old." One log lit up. A hologram appeared. It showed a world covered in towers of gold and flying cities. "Exeron Prime," the voice said. "Year 5091, Galactic Era." They watched in silence as the hologram showed the rise of the Exeron Empire. Peace, power, expansion. Then fire, ships falling from the sky, cities burning, screams, and then a single message spoken by a dying Exeron officer. "To those who come after us, we were wrong. Earth was never dead. We tried to reach it. We tried to study it. But Earth only pretends to sleep. Do not wake it." The room fell silent. Rilla stepped back, frowning. Earth, the human homeworld. Lieutenant V's core, a muscular alien with metal arms, laughed. "That's just old myth. Earth is gone. Humans destroyed themselves. Remember?" Dr. Yell shook his head. "This is real. This log is over 2,000 years old." Another log, activated this time from a different empire. The Harnack, the same thing. Growth, glory, then collapse. Another warning: we touched Earth. We listened to the silence. We thought the planet was dead. But Earth is only waiting. Connecting the dots, the crew gathered in the control chamber. Rilla reviewed 10 different logs, all from different civilizations. All told the same story. "Do not disturb Earth." One log showed a star chart. The Sol system was marked with red symbols. "Danger, quarantine, do not enter." "But we've scanned that system," V's said. "There's nothing there. No signals. Number ships, no life." Rilla looked at the others. "So why are all these ancient empires warning us about it?" The room grew tense. One log played again. This time, the hologram was darker. The alien speaking had blood on his face. His eyes were wide with fear. "If you are seeing this, it's already too late. Earth is not asleep. Humanity is in stasis, waiting when they wake. The stars will burn." Dr. Yell turned off the log. This was their final message, just minutes before their signal vanished forever. The signal back on the ship, Rila sat in silence. Her claws tapped against the armrest of her chair. "I've seen enough," she said. "We'll send a report to the Galactic Union Council. They need to see this." But just as the message was about to be sent, the ship's AI chimed. Incoming signal detected. What kind of signal? Rila asked. The AI paused. Origin, Sol System, Type, Ancient Earth Beacon, Status, Active, Message. Come closer, everyone. Froze. That can't be real, V's whispered. Nothing should be alive there. Dr. Yell walked to the console. It's real. It's weak, but still transmitting. Over 1,000 years old, and still active. Replay the message, Rila said. The speaker crackled. Then a human voice spoke slow, clear, and chilling. We are not gone. We are not asleep. You were warned. Come closer and see. The message ended. Rilla stood slowly, her eyes locked on the window showing the stars beyond. Set a course, she said. Commander V's asked, You want to go there? I want to see why the galaxy feared Earth. She said coldly, I want the truth. The ship turned, and the stars of the Sol System waited ahead, silent, patient, and full of secrets. Asterisk, the Seeker reached the edge of the Sol System 3 days later. No ships, no signals, no signs of life. Just empty space and silence. Commander Rilatoran stood at the main viewing window, staring at the distant pale dot ahead. Earth, approaching target system, the AI announced. All systems normal. No detected threats. The crew didn't speak much. Something about the silence made the ship feel smaller, colder. Lieutenant V's leaned forward. Looks dead to me. What if all those warnings were wrong? Rilla didn't answer. She just kept watching. A quiet planet, they entered orbit around Earth. The planet looked peaceful, oceans still blue, clouds drifting across green lands. Cities ruined but standing. No movement, no lights, no signs of machines. No signs of life. Dr. Yell activated the scanners. No radio signals, no power grids, no satellites, nothing. Commander Rila narrowed her eyes, except one. A red dot blinked on the screen, deep underground. Energy source, Yell said. Old, human origin. Still active, location, North America. Beneath what was once called Denver, V's crossed his arms. So, ... humans built something underground and never came back. Or, they're still there, Rilla said. The descent the shuttle launched from the Seeker and flew toward the planet. Rilla V's Yell and 2 security bots were on board. As they entered the atmosphere, clouds swirled around them. The earth below looked untouched by war. Nature had taken over. Forests covered ancient roads. Skyscrapers wore green vines like armor. Rivers flowed clean. But there were no animals, no birds, no insects. Nothing moved. This world feels. Frozen V's said, like it's holding its breath. Yell whispered. They landed near the entrance of an old mountain bunker, marked with faded words in English. United Earth Defense, do not enter. The door was still sealed, but the scanners showed power running through it. Rilla nodded. Open it. V's placed a charge, and within seconds, the doors creaked open, releasing a wave of cold air and something else. ... A whisper, faint, soft, not a sound. A feeling, like something inside knew they had arrived. Inside the bunker, they walked through dark halls lit by flickering blue lights. The walls were smooth metal, etched with warnings and faded Earth flags. The team moved slowly. Yell scanned the systems. This place is running on emergency power, but something big is below. After 2 levels of stairs and tunnels, they reached a large circular chamber. At the center, a sealed vault door. Its surface shimmered with strange light. Not just metal, something more advanced. Yel touched the surface. It's still locked. Rilla looked at a panel beside the door. There was a handprint scanner. Human size, still glowing. Try it, she said. VS reached out to touch it. When the vault suddenly hummed, everyone stepped back. The door began to open. The chamber of sleepers inside. The vault was a massive circular room filled with glowing capsules, hundreds of them inside each capsule. A human, men, women, young and old, all sleeping. Rilla's voice trembled. Cryostasis. Yell scanned the pods. They're alive. Heartbeats slow. Brainwaves calm. This isn't death. This is a plan, V's said. They chose to sleep. Each pod had a number. Each face peaceful. They walked past rows of capsules until they reached a central control pillar. On it, a hologram activated. It showed a human man in a dark uniform. His face was calm, but serious. If you're watching this, the man said, then Earth has been disturbed. We are not dead. We are not lost. We are waiting. The galaxy grew too loud, too proud. We saw the pattern. Civilizations rise, then fall. They feared us, so we stepped away, to let them fall without us. You ignored the warnings. Now we wake. The message ended. Silence returned. Sudden shift, the lights in the chamber grew brighter. One capsule beeped another, then 5. More. The crew stepped back. Commander, Yell said, voice tight, the stasis program is ending. You mean, yes, they're waking up. Suddenly, the vault doors slammed shut behind them. Warning, the AI on their wristcom crackled. External control detected. System override active. Evacuation blocked. V's raised his weapon. We need to leave, now. No, said quietly, we came to see the truth, and now we will. The first to wake one pod hissed open. A tall man stepped out. Hair short, eyes sharp. He looked at the crew, but he didn't speak. Instead, he walked to the control pillar and touched a glowing panel. Dozens of other capsules began to power up. The man turned. You don't belong here, he said calmly. Rilla tried to speak. We found warnings, messages. We thought Earth was dead. The man stepped closer. Dead. No. Sleeping because we knew the galaxy wasn't ready for us. Yell whispered, What? What are you? The man's eyes glowed faintly blue. We are humanity, he said, and we never forgot. Awakening the silence, the room was no longer silent. Capsules hissed. Steam rose from the stasis chambers. One by one, the humans inside began to move. The alien crew of the Seeker stood frozen, watching history come back to life. Commander Rilla kept her hand near her sidearm, but didn't draw it. She didn't want to give the wrong message. The first human, the tall man with glowing eyes, continued to work at the console. His fingers moved quickly, as if he remembered everything even after centuries of sleep. More humans stepped out from the pods. They were calm, controlled, almost too perfect. V's leaned close to Rilla and whispered, They don't look confused. They don't look weak. No, she whispered back. They look ready. Dr. Yell's scanners blinked wildly. These aren't ordinary humans, he said. Their biology, it's different, evolved, modified. Modified how? V's asked. They're stronger, smarter, faster, beyond baseline life forms. The first human turned to them again. We didn't sleep because we were tired, he said. We slept to give the galaxy a chance. But now, the pattern has returned. What pattern? Rilla asked. The man stepped forward, eyes locked on. Hers, greed, war, pride. The same spiral that destroyed every empire before us. We warned them, and they still woke us. A warning to late in orbit. The crew still on the Seeker watched the energy levels rise from Earth. They had never seen signals like this. Ancient human tech rebooting across the planet. Satellites blinked to life in the sky. Subterranean reactors began to hum. One of the officers panicked. We need to call the Union fleet. But the communication array was silent. Signal jammed, said the ship AI. Global interference originating from Earth. Back underground, another pod opened. A woman stepped out. Her skin glowed faintly. Not cyberkinetic. Something more. Natural, enhanced. She looked at the alien crew, tilted her head and smiled, not with joy, but understanding. I know your species, she said softly. You came from the stars, hoping to learn. But you never asked why the stars went quiet. Rilla kept her voice calm. We found warnings. We thought they were myths. They were truths, the woman replied. But now you've brought the galaxy to our door again. A glimpse of power, the human man raised his hand toward one of the sleeping pods, with no touch, no tool. The pod opened. TELEKINESIS. The crew stepped back. VES aimed his weapon. You're not just human. The man didn't blink. We are what humanity became, after the rest of you left us behind. He walked to a nearby panel and pressed one final key. From deep beneath the bunker, something rumbled. Yell's scanner went red. Something is moving under the planet's surface. Something big. Then the entire mountain shook above the Earth, high above the planet. The Seeker's sensors picked up massive heat signatures. From old mountains, from under the oceans, from deserts. Structures were rising. Sleek black towers, hidden for centuries, now awakening. Dozens of them, and from inside those towers. Signals, encrypted, powerful, ancient. Are those warships? One officer asked. No one answered. A truth revealed in the underground bunker. Rilla spoke again. Why hide all of this? Why sleep? The woman walked past them, placing her hand on another pod. When our kind ruled Earth, we realized something. Terrible, every empire ends, not by enemies, by pride. We chose to step away before we became the threat. She turned, but we always knew someone would come knocking again. You think we're enemies? Vise asked. She smiled faintly. No, just a signal. And we respond. No escape suddenly. The bunker doors slammed shut again. Alarms blared on Reela's wristcom. Commander, came a panicked voice from the orbiting ship. Something's locking us in place. We can't move. The crew above was stuck. The Seeker had been caught in an invisible field, held in orbit like a toy in a child's hand. Back underground, the lights changed to red dot emergency mode. The human man looked up. It begins. A message to the galaxy. One of the reactivated towers on Earth sent out a burst transmission. Not just local, not just solar. Galactic. Every planet, every ship, every listening station across the stars received the same signal. We are awake. You are warned. Earth remembers. The message ended. Silence followed, then fear. Commander Reela's choice. Reela looked at the humans, then at her team. Her claws trembled slightly. What now? She asked. The first man walked slowly toward her. You leave. and you carry our message. Let the galaxy decide peace or war. Rilla took a deep breath. And if they choose war? The man's glowing eyes stared into hers. Then Earth stops pretending. Asterisk, the message from Earth spread like wildfire through the stars. We are awake. You were warned. Earth remembers. Every major species in the Galactic Union received it. Leaders met in panic. Councils argued. Some wanted peace. Others prepared for war. But all agreed on one thing. Earth was not dead, and now it had risen. The Union's response admiral, Kes Luren, a four-armed, blue-skinned veteran of the Union defense fleet, stood aboard the battlecruiser Starhammer. He looked at the data coming in from Earth. Ancient towers, orbital locks, energy surges across the planet, AI awakening on a global scale. Deploy the fleet, he ordered. We're heading to Sol. Within hours, over 200 warships were en route to Earth. The mission was clear: contain or eliminate the threat. But they had no idea what they were flying into. Back on Earth, Commander, Rilla and her crew were still trapped inside the mountain bunker. More humans had awakened. Dozens now. They walked the corridors calmly, without fear, without rush. Machines repaired themselves. Lights returned. A city beneath the mountain came alive, silent, powerful, waiting. VES stood at a window, watching. Robotic drones rise from deep silos and fly into the sky. This isn't just a bunker, he said. It's a launch center. Dr. Yell's scanner blinked again. The energy readings are going off the scale. There are fusion cores here, more powerful than our capital stations. Rilla turned to the first awakened human, now dressed in full black tactical armor. His name was Commander Ashrin. Why now? She asked. Why are you rising? Ashrin looked at the ceiling as more lights turned on. We slept to protect the galaxy from us, he said. But if you're already preparing fleets, then we woke just in time. We didn't come to fight, Rilla insisted. We were sent to explore. Ashrin gave a small, knowing smile. So were we before the First Great War, before we learned how dangerous we could become. The fleet arrives in orbit. The Union fleet dropped out of hyperspace near Earth. Dozens of massive ships, each one bristling with weapons, fighters, and armors rounded the planet. Admiral Kes looked down at Earth on the view screen. Still, no defenses fired, he said. Maybe we scared them. An officer nodded. Orders, sir. Send a warning. 1 hour to respond, or we strike. The warning was sent. No reply came, but something else did. Earth's true defense from behind Earth's moon. A dozen stealth ships appeared, black, silent, and covered in tech the Union had never seen. Each one locked onto a target with pinpoint precision. Then they vanished again. On the fleet's bridge, Admiral Kes blinked at the scanner. Where did they go? Before anyone could answer, one of the Union ships exploded. No warning. No trace. Then another dot, and another dot. 3 ships, gone in 10 seconds. They're inside our formation. An officer shouted. They're disabling our shields, targeting systems offline. Panic spread across the fleet. Admiral Kes stared at the screen in disbelief. This isn't war, he whispered. This is a demonstration. Back on Earth, the mountain city below the bunker now glowed with golden light. Ashrin walked beside Rilla through a corridor where ancient human history lined the walls. Wars, peace, collapse, rebirth. You weren't wrong to be curious, he said, but your leaders, they still make the same mistakes. V's stepped forward. Why warn us at all? You could have just destroyed us. Ashran paused. Because that's the difference now. We don't want to destroy. We want the galaxy to remember who we are and what we became. He placed his hand on a round platform. A massive screen lit up. Across it, the Union fleet could be seen in real time. Ships disabled, not destroyed, slowly pulled away by invisible fields. We could have turned your fleet to ash, Ashran said, but we won't. The message of Earth from every reactivated tower on Earth. A second message was sent. This time, it was not a warning. It was an offer. We are not your enemy. We watched. We waited. But if you bring war to our skies, we will answer. Come not with fleets, but with minds. Across the galaxy, millions listened. Some in fear, some in wonder, a few in hope. The Union retreats Admiral Kez sat silently in his chair. Around him, his ships were disabled but untouched. No more attacks came. A message came through directly from Earth. A human face. Ashran, you sent ships. We sent a message. Tell your leaders, humanity has returned, and we are listening. Admiral Kez closed his eyes. Order all ships to retreat. New beginning. Back in the Earth bunker. Rilla watched the fleet leave orbit. You could have wiped us out, she said. As Ren nodded. Yes, but you're not the real threat. Fear is. Rilla looked at the capsules that still lined the chamber. Walls. How many more of you are there? Ashran didn't smile. He simply said, enough. The stars had gone quiet again, but this silence was different. It wasn't peaceful. It was heavy. It was the kind of silence that came after thunder, the kind that warned more might follow. Across the galaxy, governments and empires sat frozen. Some watched Earth with fear. Others sent quiet messages, unsure what to say. But one thing was now certain. Humanity had returned. A choice to make. Commander Rilla Toran stood near her ship, the Seeker, preparing for departure. The humans had reopened the mountain doors. They had given her crew their freedom, but they had also given her a message. Tell them the truth, Ashran had said. No more lies, no more myths. Let the galaxy decide. She looked back at the underground city, the glow of machines, the soft hum of energy in the walls. The humans who once slept now walked with purpose. Calm, controlled, powerful. Dr. Yell stood beside her. Do you think they'll listen? He asked softly. Rilla nodded. They have to. If they don't, will be the next warning. The final upload from a communications station inside Earth's old defense grid. The humans prepared something new. It wasn't a threat. It wasn't an attack. It was a broadcast. A message to every corner of space, in every major language, through every open channel, across thousands of screens and radios. It began, we are the last children of Earth. Long ago, we stepped away to avoid becoming monsters. We chose silence. We chose sleep. Not because we were weak, but because we were too strong, and we watched you. We watched every empire rise with pride and fall in fire. You forgot us. You erased our stories. But we remembered everything. We will not beg. We will not conquer. But if you come to harm us, know this, Earth never sleeps again. Reaction across the stars, in the floating capital of the Tyrell Federation, their High Council cancelled. War plans dot in the dark moons of the Zelkan Empire. Scientists paused new weapons testing, and in the Galactic Union's main Senate chamber, leaders sat in total silence, watching the human message repeat. Some were furious, Some were afraid, but most were quiet. One elderly senator whispered, "They gave us a choice." Commander Reela's report a week later. Reela returned to Union space. She stood before the High Command, 12 alien leaders, representing hundreds of species. They asked her for her full report. She gave them every detail: the ruins, the stasis chambers, the awakened humans, the towers, the ships, and the power Earth still held. At the end, one general asked, "Can we beat them?" Reela didn't pause. "No," she said. "Then are we slaves now?" "No," she answered. "They don't want war." "Then what do they want?" Reela looked up, her voice calm. "To be remembered, to be respected, and to never be disturbed again." Earth watches back on Earth. The towers went silent once more, but they stayed open. The skies remained clear. The defenses still stood. Inside the mountain, Ashran watched the stars from a viewing platform. Beside him stood the glowing woman who had woken first. Her name was Mira. She spoke quietly. "They're afraid of us again." Ashran nodded. "Good. Fear keeps them honest." Myra tilted her head. "Do you think they'll attack anyway?" Ashran's eyes followed the stars. "If they do, we'll remind them what it means to be human." A child's voice far below, in one of the reawakened cities, a small human child sat by a window. He looked at a screen showing alien worlds, lush jungles, frozen planets, oceans in the sky. He pointed to one and asked, "Can we go there someday?" His mother smiled. "Maybe, but will they be scared of us?" She paused. "Yes, a little." The boy looked down. "That's sad." His mother kneeled beside him. "No," she said gently. "That means they remember us." The legacy of Earth years passed. Human ships didn't leave Earth. But the galaxy changed. New alliances formed. Warlords disappeared. Trade routes opened. Peace held longer than ever before. And in every academy, every ship training center, one ancient phrase was carved into the wall: "Beware the sleeping planet." Not as a threat, but as a reminder. Final scene. Across the stars a new explorer ship, from a young species called the Avanari, entered the Sol system. They carried no weapons, only gifts. They orbited Earth in silence, waiting, hoping. One signal reached them: "You may land." The young captain smiled. "We're the first to visit Earth in over a century," she said. "Are you afraid?" her crew asked. She nodded a little. "But I'd rather face Earth awake than pretend they're still asleep." The ship descended, and below, Earth watched, not as a graveyard, but as a guardian.